Hello, and welcome. I thought this was really interesting story, so I wanted to bring it to you. And I have to start out that I'm in no way a medical professional, so take my word for what you take it. I'm not giving any medical advice here. But I want to talk about how I see that because, you know, feminism has gone so overboard and it's not accepting any criticism of or facts about anything. They just want to push their agenda, they want to push their own story. So this is the, I think, very clear place where feminism is used to exploit women. How is that possible? Well, let's look at the drug called Addyi, because there is this very interesting thing like sexual dysfunction, and men have it and women have it. And I actually read really interesting book called Seksipäiväkirjat. I will link it down below. It was about, there was 102 couple who were married for I think 10 years or something, and they talked about their problems in the marriage, everything from trust to basically sexual dysfunction problems, etc. And the book was written very cleverly in a way that first they had these like a diaries of the actual couples, and they talked about some problems. Then the writer talked about what other publications, etc., have said about this thing, and then at the end he told about what he thinks about this issue. And one chapter that really made an impression on me was search for the pink Viagra. And the idea is this, that because, well, men and women have mostly very different reasons for sexual dysfunction. Men are simple beasts, simple-minded baboons, so that we take a pill of Viagra, Viagra makes blood flow into penis, and we are ready to go. I can fuck for hours if I would score that kind of pill. So that if you add blood flow to my penis, even without anyone sexually stimulating me or rubbing my dick or telling me how they love me or whatever, or smelling nice or whatever, I would be ready to have sex. But often in the case, this is not the same for women. It might be that it is just that, but it's very rare basically, because what they found out is that even if you add blood flow to vagina and the down place for women, their sexual organs, it would help them with the sexual dysfunction, because it's here, it's most emotional or something like that. So it's psychological thing basically. If women don't want sex in a relationship, mostly the reasons are psychological. When men can't perform, it's usually, mostly, not all, just that they would need a pill of Viagra, some more blood flow down there, and they're ready to go. And because of this, we have like 26 different drugs to treat male dysfunction, because it's a lot more easier process to just get more blood flow in certain part of body and be ready to go. And we have only one product for females, and it's this Addyi. And of course, because there's this dangerous thing that feminism believes that men and women are equal biologically, that they are the same. So they think that women also need this kind of drug to help with the sexual dysfunction, no matter what, because men have it, women must have it, and fuck the details basically. So what happened is that they come up with this Addyi, which is very dangerous and very ineffective drug. It changes the brain chemistry in women, and basically the studies show that 10% of the user get positive effects, and if they get the positive effects, it means something like one positive time have sex in a month. So only one in a month it helps, even if you take it every day, and you need to take it every day. And you can absolutely not take alcohol with it. You would kill yourself, basically, or it will be very dangerous. So 10% get positive effects, and 75% get negative effects. And no doubt, this was disapproved first time around. This was not safe to market. This was not safe drug. They concluded that, and they didn't give the rights to sell it. But then basically feminist organizations, something like National Organization for Women or even the SCORE, etc., promoted this drug so hard that they tested it again and got the rights to sell it. And it's very dangerous for women. I don't think you should really look into it. If you're having sexual dysfunction, I would honestly, my layman's mind would say that you have better luck with just having alcohol and trying the sex, because that might help. It maybe not help, but this very much won't help. So they're basically, because women want this, there is this need, and it's kind of a women rights issue because men already have these kind of things and women don't. They are pushing these dangerous drugs on women, giving them basically false hope and endangering their health. And there's even some very odd things, like for example that if you go to the SCORE webpage, which I will link below, you can see that this broad pharmaceutical that was maker of Addyi was promoting them. So basically this pharmaceutical company Sprout that came up with this Addyi paid this organization to promote their drug. And then when they got it accepted and you can sell it, they sold it for $1 billion to Valeant. Well, there was this interesting thing that the Valeant was a part of this controversy that they lift very much some like crucial medicine prices, like many times up, so that they get more profit. And because of that, they haven't been able to really start marketing this Addyi that much, or really have been able to do much with their $1 billion investment. But what I want to look at today is that what is this Cindy Whitehead do next after this, when she sold first this Addyi recipe for $1 billion, because I think she understood that, okay, we can use feminism to basically get dangerous drugs and to women, and women will be happy, and they won't check any facts because they are feminists. They just believe what they are being told, and they don't check any statistics or anything about any studies or whatever about anything. So maybe there is a way to make money, to profit from innocent poor women and get more money because of feminism. And she had a very clever idea. So let's look at here. So exclusive. The woman behind the female Viagra has a new venture, and let's hear this out.
Right after the drug was approved, the company was bought by Valeant. How did that come about?
So it really was an opportunity for us to make good on the mission. Addyi deserves a global footprint. So to do this was sort of making good on the mission. Now we're going to march across the globe for all the women who need treatment, and really be able to offer treatment in an affordable way. The partnership with Valeant has let us, for example, have Addyi for just $20 per prescription. That's less than half of the cost of a single pill of Viagra.
Shortly after you were acquired, reports surfaced about Valeant perhaps inflating its sales through its relationship with a pharmacy, a specialty pharmacy. Did that give you any concern?
So I think Valeant has had a lot of attention recently. We've done what I think we've always done at Sprout, which is put your head down and do the work, get it done right for women, and they have in every step supported us in that regard.
So you're happy with the partnership so far?
I'm happy at the opportunity. So for example, we filed in Canada, right? Already we're making good on globalizing this, marching forward, being able to offer it in a more affordable way than we ever could. So thus far, I think in terms of our mission, it is working out.
What's your biggest lesson been on this whole journey with Addyi in particular? It's gotten so much attention, it's been controversial, it's gotten headlines out there that you say are not accurate, but what is the biggest lesson you've taken away from all this?
Can I have two?
You can have two.
So the first is champion the worthy causes, right? Truly champion the worthy causes. I think it's strength of conviction and really continuing to show up when you believe in it. And I think the second is, it is remarkable the power of women when they advocate for themselves or for each other. So I've had a fortunate sort of front row seat to that and have learned great lessons from a lot of different strong women.
So you heard it straight from the horse's mouth. The two lessons is that advocate for these strong cases or whatever, like basically that advocate for this because they'll get more money, and that women can really push these laws through and push these drugs through that are unsafe and get you a lot of money if you happen to be on the right side of the thing. So let's read about this. Meet the pink ceiling. You may remember Cindy Whitebird as the woman who created Addyi, the woman's libido-enhancing drug often referred as the female Viagra. Whitehead was the tireless force of nature who, after 2 failed attempts, finally pushed the controversial drug through FDA approval last year, then promptly sold Addyi to the company that created it for a whopping $1 billion. But then Addyi Saga took an unexpected turn. Valeant Pharmaceuticals, which purchased Whitehead's company's Pharmaceuticals, found itself in the midst of major drug pricing scandal just as the deal closed. Valeant circled all wagons, all but abandoning Addyi. Whitehead, who was supposed to oversee the launch of the drug, stepped down as the CEO and fell off the map. But not for long. Just 4 months later, Whitehead is back with a new venture that launches Wednesday. For those who have followed her 22-year-long career in pharmaceuticals, the nature of her new company may be a surprise to the throughout line from her work on Addyi is clear. Calling it the pink ceiling, a fitting name given Whitehead's signature hot pink lipstick and clothing. The new company is something of a cross between VC fund and an incubator and consulting firm. Whitehead says that the company will partner up with startups that provide products or services to women, helping the fledgling business come to market and scale. She expects the pink ceiling to invest in some but not all of its companies it works with. For those that she doesn't put any money, Whitehead will charge for the services. So basically, she will help other companies and startups push dangerous things to women because she now knows how to manipulate the system. She now knows, she has connections to these, even the SCORE and even the National Organization for Women help them, and they are so happy because they got their Addyi. No matter how dangerous it is, they are very happy because they got what they wanted. They now have this drug. So I think they might be eager to help her push more products onto unsuspecting women who might not see how they are being exploited just because of money and just because of feminism. So the company's first partner is Undercover Colors, a really Ennis-based company that is developing nail polish intended to help wearers detect the presence of a date rape drugs. Startup says its polish will change color when it comes into contact with ketamine, ecstasy, rohypnol and KGB. In theory, the product should allow women to drink her nail into a drink and immediately know whether it's been spiked. The pink ceiling is an investor in the Undercover Colors to Whitehead declines to specify the size of the investment. Whitehead says that she reached out to the Undercover Colors founders after reading the early press on the company, some of which have been quite critical, alleging that such products imply that the responsibility for protecting themselves against assault should be borne by women. I understand how misunderstanding can become truth, says Whitehead, referring to the negative media coverage of Addyi. I asked them, how can I help? She was drawn to the idea of a product that could become a real solution to a real problem faced by women. Interestingly, the startup was founded by 4 recent North Carolina State University grads, all of whom are male. Whitehead says that although the pink ceiling will focus on companies that are developing woman-centric products, it is not necessary that the companies have female founders or leadership teams, though it's a bonus if it's led by a woman, he says. Of course it is, because it doesn't matter how good you are, it just matters that you can be easily exploited for someone else's goals, I think. Pharma companies are welcome, says Whitehead, and would likely benefit from her extensive experience with regulatory approvals. Yes, so she knows how to push these through the system by loopholes. But she's also happy to branch out into other industries. We are looking for companies that are either going to propel the social conversation or open up a new category, says Whitehead, noting that interested startups can submit to pinkceiling.com. Right now, the Pink Ceiling consists of 10 people, all women, and all of whom have worked with Whitehead before. The company has not taken any outside investment. It will be funded in a large part by the $1 billion sale of Sprout Pharmaceuticals. Whitehead credits her work with Addyi for inspiring her focus on the women's market and says she still hopes the drug will succeed. I think the founder's satisfaction can be elusive, she says, comparing selling company to putting child up for adoption. You hope that adoptive parents will come in and love the child like you do and nurture the child like you would, but sometimes they have a different plan. Addyi has not yet been launched by the acquirer. It needs a sales force, educational efforts, the type of support you would think it's typical to successfully launch a new product, says Whitehead. In an email statement to Fortuna, Valeant said, "We believe Addyi has strong potential and we are committed to making Addyi affordable and accessible to the millions of menopausal women. Addyi remains on the market and is available for physicians to prescribe. Valeant intends to expand its market access team and plans to re-establish the Addyi sales force later this year." Whitehead says she was shocked by what happened with Valeant, which became the subject of congressional investigation over drug pricing hikes around the time it was closing on Sprout. The inquiry ultimately led to a major crisis for the pharma giant, sending its shares from high of 262 down as low as 26 earlier this year. The way the company handled Addyi and Whitehead herself in the wake of that scandal wasn't the spirit of the original deal, she says. I'm looking forward to seeing what Addyi does when there's a real launch effort behind it. The story has been updated to include statement from Valeant that was received after publication. Okay, so basically, this is good news that they haven't really launched this Addyi and put any marketing force against it, because, like I said, it's very ineffective and it's been very, very odd kind of pill. So this is just the thing that please keep a close eye on the pinkceiling.com, because I have the feeling that in the next couple of years, whatever, they will be pushing different kind of woman-centered products to the market, which might be not safe, like Addyi was not safe. They might not have the best intentions for women, but that they are fitting some need to fight some kind of women's rights issues or whatever, so that they will then get backing of these organizations like National Organization for Women or even the SCORE, etc., to pass these under FDA approval, even though if they are products like Addyi that clearly should never have been passed through the approval process. So be careful, be safe, and don't take bad pills. That might hurt you.